Hello. In this clip from our Justia webinar, Google Search Console, the secret weapon you didn't know you had, Gustavo Montes, Director of SEO at Justia, shares his final takeaways and answers questions from the audience regarding Google Search Console and how to leverage the tool to improve the performance of your law firm websites. If you want to see more Justia videos on law practice and legal marketing, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
Okay, that was the last report that I was gonna go over. It's pretty much we went through like the majority of them, that the most important ones. Some final points. Keep an eye again if you're gonna be monitoring your website. Keep an eye on things. You know, it's hard to go through every single report, so at least keep an eye on the overview report. Again, it just gives you this consolidated view of the different metrics. And just make sure that you have no issues with indexation, like indexing issues or performance issues. Again, just keep an eye on that. You don't want to see like sharp drops in the different graphics or negative or sustained negative trends on some of those. If that happens, discuss with your website provider just to take the appropriate actions. Monitor the emails that you're getting from Google Search Console, because Google sends a lot of different information. And if they send you a manual action, they will send an email notifying, say for security issue. And even with like, you can get like monthly emails or weekly emails. So again, you get a lot of information from Google Search Console. Keep an eye on that. And of course, just see what makes sense to review and to spend your time on. But the emails is a good way to keep on top of things. And the last item is Search Console is a great place to get information about the links going to your website. Again, it's not going to show you everything, but Google will show you links for which it plays some value, right? And again, some links may not be great, but you know, this is just information that's coming from Google. Feel free to complement that with some of the other tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush. That's fine too, but do keep an eye on Search Console, because really that's really the main source of information for your website when it comes to Google. And that's it. That's the information that I wanted to go over with you. I hope you learned something new. And you know, thank you for attending the webinar. And you know, I'm ready if you have any questions for me. Feel free to use that tool to send your questions.
Wonderful. We can now move on to audience questions. So just a reminder, if you do have a question that you'd like to ask Gus today, he's here with us. So you can feel free to submit that through that Q&A button in the control panel at the bottom of your screen. It looks like we already have a few questions, so we can go ahead and get started. We have some questions about some of the core terms that you use when you're kind of going over GSC itself. So they're asking, what is AMP, what are snippets, and what are breadcrumbs? If you could just review those briefly, Gus.
Yeah, absolutely. So AMP stands for Accelerated Mobile Pages. And basically, think of it as a solution or a technology that was developed to create fast loading websites. This is a technology that was spearheaded by Google. And you know how your website, you may know about HTML. That's sort of the source code of your page as well. Think of AMP as a lightweight version of HTML. Again, this is a lighter version, which makes it faster to load. But there are different benefits beyond that. So when a website uses AMP, so what happens is that Google grabs a copy of the AMP pages from that website and stores those pages on different Google servers, you know, throughout the world, right? So we call them like the Google CDN, which is Content Delivery Network. What that does is that if somebody is on this part of the world, the server that's closer to that person is the one that's sort of delivering the pages, right? So again, that's just makes it faster. Another big one is that if your website uses AMP, when somebody goes to do a Google search, let's say that your website is ranking on the search results, even before that person clicks on your website, before that happens, your website is Google's already preloading your website on the background. So by the time the person clicks on your site, it loads right away, like less than a second. It just loads the page. It's just a great user experience. It just makes it look good. You look good with your website. So anyway, that's sort of information about and how it works and what it is. The other one was snippets, right? Okay, snippets. So snippet, we also call that a search snippet. Think of a snippet of a single search result from a Google search results page. So you go to Google, do a search, you get all of the websites ranking, all of the results. So each one of them, we call that a search snippet, and it's normally comprised of the title of the page, the link of the page, and then you normally see a description below. Again, that's sort of what a search snippet is. And breadcrumb. So for breadcrumbs are just it's just a navigational links that websites normally have, and basically it allows users to know where they are located in a website. And I'm just gonna give you a quick example. You go to your website, let's say that you do PI, personal injury. Go to the homepage, then navigate to the car accident. From there, you navigate to the read and collision. In the read and collision page, you'll find at the top these breadcrumbs that is probably going to say home, and then next is going to say car accident, and next is going to say read and collision. Again, this is just navigational links. They help cross-link pages. They help users understand where they are located on your website, and they also help Google sort of understand the structure of your website and the different what topics of pages are related. So that is what breadcrumb are.
Awesome. Thank you for defining that for us, Gus. Our next question is, how can I know which links listed on Google Search Console are good or bad?
So Google Search Console will not give you any indicator within the tool itself. I mean, you'll just get the list of the external links, and really, like you should just do sort of your own assessment of these links. When you go to a website, you have the link from this external source, and ask yourself, is this a reputable website? Maybe it's a website you know, right? And it's sort of a website on the legal space, or it's a reputable lawyer directory, right, that everyone knows. Okay, that's probably a good link to have. If the website is not, I mean, you don't know anything about it, the quality is bad, and many times by looking at the website itself, you can tell that this is not a good quality website, right? Or also check for some spammy signals, right? If you go to the website, there are many websites out there in directories that exist only for manipulating Google's ranking, like for get SEO value to different websites. And then you go to these directories and you see keywords all over the place. And again, normally the quality is not good. So that's probably not a good looking, or a quality link, right? It's probably a bad website to be associated with. Again, Google will not give you that. It will be you sort of reading the page, navigating, understanding what you see. If you feel this is a good website for users, is valuable, it's probably a good place to have a link from.
Awesome. Thanks, Gus. We have time for a couple more questions. So the next one is, should I ask Google to re-index pages on my site every time I make changes?
No, there's really no reason to do that every time there is a change. I mean, if you are making a change that is really important, right? Maybe there's something wrong with the page, there's something outdated about the law, right? And that's probably an important update to make sure Google, indexes right away. Yeah, you can do that then. But if that's not the case, you don't have to do that, right? Also, if there are changes, to your website, let's say that it's not just one page, it may be this set of pages, or you did an important change to the whole website, and all of the pages were impacted. You can do is submit sort of a sitemap XML. You recall when I went through that, and that also sort of pings Google to say, you know what, I made the changes, and it sort of speeds up the process of indexation. But Google has its own algorithm to understand how often to go back to websites and read the information. But normally that's pretty good. And again, if there's not urgent need for reindexation, don't go that route. Just let Google sort of read the page and go through the process. And also keep in mind that even if you ask for reindexation, doesn't mean that Google is going to do it right away, right? It can still take a few days. And on the same way, if you ask for reindexation, doesn't mean that that page is going to sort of rank, right away. But when there's a new page, it takes time to rank on Google. So again, things just take time. So normally you don't need to do that for every change that you do.
Okay. And then our next question is, when removing pages from my site, should I redirect those pages URLs to my homepage?
No, then definitely don't do that. You should never do this sort of blank redirect that for every deleted page over to the homepage. And I've seen that in the past, like some SEO people say, we need to do that because 404s are not good for a website, and there could be an impact. And that's really not the case. Google has stated that it's normal for websites to have these 404 errors. So no, don't do a redirect for every page, for every deleted page to the homepage. If you delete a page and you have another existing page on your website that relates to that same topic, that can act as sort of its replacement, that it makes sense to that redirect to that other page, right? Because again, it's sort of related to it. So yeah, that would be the answer for that one.
Awesome. Okay, our last question for today is going to be, when or how often should I use the disavow tool to report any bad backlinks that I find?
I think that the short answer is that unless you have a manual action from Google, I mentioned about these manual actions, and one of them is related to links, right? If somebody having spamming links, there could be a manual action for that, and that could be really bad for a website. Unless you have a manual action, you don't need to go out and disavow links, and Google has even stated that. I think over the years, Google has gotten smarter on how it deals with these very low quality links. And nowadays, what Google says is, they will just discount the value of those, right? So they're not, I guess, unless you take it to the extent, you take this to the extent that you are abusing sort of, this tactic of getting backlink just for SEO purposes, to manipulate the rankings, and you really do these really bad, have tons of links with keywords, you can get maybe a manual action, but most of the time, Google's just gonna discount those, right? So there is no need for you to disallow proactively, right? If you don't have a manual action. Also, another reason for that is that you may think Google is not, you may think this is not a good link. Who knows, right? Maybe it's not too bad, and maybe there's sort of a little value that you are getting from it. So you really don't know. So again, don't do it unless there's an explicit manual action about spamming backlinks from Google to your website.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Gus, for all of your insight and tips, and thank you all who asked questions. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy it, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos on law practice and legal marketing. See you in our next clip.